Hello, friends and fans, and welcome to a prediction/discussion on the DC Fandome event coming up this weekend, as well as I'm just going to put you up there so they can see what you're doing. This is how we roll today. And also, we're going to be talking about Batfleck coming back because that's DC, and Aqua Slut was okay with it. I am joined by my two regular cunt sluts, I guess. I don't know what you want to call them. Aqua Slut and the Brown Lantern. Boys, say hello.
G'day, sport.
Howdy.
All right, so let's jump right into it. Let's talk about DC Fandome, or do we want to talk about Batfleck first?
Let's get Batfleck out the way.
I'm so excited. I am one of the only people in my circle.
So excited.
That's Megan. She's so excited. She's got that WAP. Where are pictures of Spider-Man? But I'm very excited. I'm one of the first people in my circle of friends. I knew Zam back then. Ginger, I didn't know you. But like when they first announced Ben Affleck, everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be so awful." Oh, and then Batman v Superman came out, and everybody loved him, and he was the only good part of that movie. Truth be told. So I don't want to, stroke my own trombone, but I was right.
I mean, you do every night, so makes no difference if you do it on the stream. We might just get banned and demonetized.
Oh, well, we'll be fine. Anyway, so what are your thoughts? Let's go to Ginger.
Well, it just depends. I mean, they're bringing him back for The Flash, the film that's always in development and never seems to get a release. In between The Flash, we've had a shitty Birds of Prey film and a shitty fucking... Oh, no, we had the amazing Joker film. Sorry, that was amazing. All right. And we're still working on The Flash. And we're going to bring him in there. I'm happy to see him back. I enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman. I knew he'd be right for the role because he's wooden and beastly, so it was perfect for Batman. You don't expect a big personality for that kind of role, so just look good in the suit and beat people up. That's all you got to do. So it's now we're entering the territory of how many parallel universes are we doing with this? Because
we're doing them all.
Well, we've got the Batman coming out, and then Batman's going to show up in The Flash, hopefully just as a cameo, and that. I see you wearing the appropriate T-shirt. Yes, lovely nipple rub. We're now banned from the stream.
Monetized.
Yeah, I'm all right for him coming back. I'd rather he kind of stayed on the role and there was a continuation there. But Warner Brothers have completely shit the bed with all their film properties, so let's see what they do about it. Do with it. That's all I've got to say.
Sam.
First of all, I was not in the camp of people who thought Ben Affleck was shit. I was like everyone. I'm willing to give them a chance and see how it turns out. And I thoroughly enjoyed his performance in Batman versus Superman. I also thought Henry Cavill was really good in that film too. But the film itself was shit. But I didn't enjoy his performance or the way he was, they directed him, so to speak, in Justice League. He came off as a fucking idiot in that movie.
That film was just whoa.
But the portrayal of Batman in that movie, like some gormless guy, like bemusement over everything. It was just, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, and it was the wrong way to get humor out of that character. But nevertheless, he's coming back. I'm fine with that. We're going to have two Batmans now. We've got Robert Pattinson as well as Ben Affleck. I'm totally fine with that. That's how DC runs with the CW universe as well going on. So just to see how it turns out. I mean, the Ezra Miller scandal is still going to play on people's minds regarding the Flash movie. I hope they can get past that. And obviously, Ben Affleck himself has had his demons recently. I hope he's in good shape because he was out of shape in Justice League. They really had to try and cover him up. He became a fat fuck again in Justice League when he was in tip-top shape in Batman versus Superman and just bloated to hell in Justice League. So I hope he's in good shape as well for that movie. I want him to look the part as well as play the part. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to DC Fandome. So the brains of the operation here, which if you cannot guess is, of course, Ginger. He took all the notes and brought the notes. So, I mean, we'll just kind of run through what we're expecting, what we want. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I want a lot of the same things that you want, Ginger. I mean, some of the stuff that I want is just some announcements for some DC stuff. I'm more interested in maybe more of the animated lines, maybe some shows, some announcements for like maybe Young Justice, Harley Quinn, Young Justice season 4, Harley Quinn season 3. I'm really looking forward to their movie slate because every year it's San Diego Comic-Con. They normally announce a couple animated movies for the next year, and they didn't do that this year, which they normally do at Comic-Con. Obviously, because nobody was there and they're saving it for this. So I'm hoping that we get an announcement of a couple more animated movies besides, because I think the last one to come out that's been announced is the Superman Man of Tomorrow. And so I'm hoping that they make an announcement for a couple other of the new DC, because I'm kind of interested to see where they go after the whole Justice League Dark Apocalypse War and where they go with this. If they're just doing all individual stories or if they're going to do like a rebirth story where it's like I kind of like the way they did that with the New 52 where they had a continuous universe storyline going on as well as the occasional Elseworld. So I don't know. Zam, what do you think? What are you looking forward to from DC Fandome?
First of all, I would like to say that DC Fandome, in my opinion, has kind of garnered a lot of interest recently because of the positive news coming from the Snyder cut of Justice League, which obviously initially stemmed with Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill talking about Justice League when they first saw it. And I think that's really helped make this what it is, in my opinion, because people have got an interest now when it comes to the film side of what DC have to show. And Henry Cavill, I believe, might be back playing Superman, rumors are to believe. Is that what you're talking about regarding that Superman movie? Is that a Henry Cavill film?
No, that's the next animated movie coming out.
Okay, sorry, I apologize. Sorry, my knowledge on certain things is limited on this. I do apologize. But yes, when it comes to some of the films, I'm kind of interested because I do want to see these films do well. I do want to see some good movies and them taking the right step. But I'm also concerned that they might be just doing all of this shit just to keep us on board, and they might not produce any of this shit they promise us. You know, it's all great saying all of this sort of stuff, but unless we see some actual fucking trailers or some certain stuff they've already made, then it's just fucking talk, as far as I'm concerned. And I hope some stuff materializes because we haven't had a Flash movie for God knows how long. You know, this whole fucking DC universe is all over the place. We don't know what's connected, what's not. We've got a Robert Pattinson thing coming on now. Maybe that might be successful, and they might want to throw all their eggs in that basket instead and expand it from that universe. Who knows? So we'll just see how things pan out. I do want to see the Robert Pattinson. I want to see a trailer for that fucking movie, by the way. I definitely want to see a trailer for that movie.
I think we're getting a Snyder Cut trailer, and I also think we're getting the Batman teaser trailer, maybe just probably like something quick, or maybe some behind the scene footage. I don't know. They started filming this movie a while back and they had to stop, but they got a decent amount of filming done before everything stopped, from what I understand.
I want to mention a couple of things.
Sorry, go on.
I just want to mention a couple of other things before I pass it on to you, Ginge. When it comes to the television stuff, I've been burnt out on CW. I used to watch it religiously, but I just can't keep up with it anymore. There's just too much shit going on with too many shows, and I'm done. But when it comes to some of the other stuff, like maybe it'll be nice to see maybe Titan season 3 trailer. That would be good if we can get something like that, and some of the other DC projects which is not related to the CW. When it comes to TV and when it comes to video games, I really would love to see a decent Superman video game. That would be really great. I doubt they're going to show us anything like that in this fandom, but I really want to see some good superhero video games of certain characters, not some maybe some massive ensemble Justice League game, but maybe certain characters like a Green Lantern game as well. That would be great. You know what I mean? If they can really get their minds around how to do a Green Lantern game. So when it comes to the game, I want to see something really good in the level of Spider-Man of a DC Universe character. Take it away, Ginge.
Right. Okay, well, there's kind of a lot of things that should be expected by us and what I reckon we're going to get. I think with the Batman, I think we're going to get an actual trailer for that. And I think it's going to be one of the central focal points because if we go back a bit on what you said, Dan, with the Snyder Cut, it generating interest, it generated a big buzz, but DC immediately shot themselves in the foot with that buzz last week by firing a lot of people. Like they couldn't have waited until after DC Fandom to do the firing. They do it before. So now the mood has changed, and it's one of a cautionary optimism, because it's like, well, we know that the DC Universe streaming platform is now going to be cancelled and everything's going to move on to HBO Max.
Have they officially announced that? Is that
not yet? But it's pretty much coming, because they've done a lot of layoffs there as well, and everything's moved over to HBO Max or the CW. So it's coming, which leaves me in doubt of what's going to happen with Young Justice season 4. I don't think we'll see anything for that in this DC Fandom, and I think the Batman and the Snyder Cut thing are going to be the two main focal points. Maybe we might get a brief look at Suicide Squad as well, the film, because we saw James Gunn in that trailer, so there might be just a discussion thing, maybe a few teaser points. I personally really want to see what their next announcements are for, obviously, Harley Quinn, the animated show, which is the best bloody thing in the world, period. And the games. Now, we know for a fact that there's a Suicide Squad game coming.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a Suicide Squad game coming by Rocksteady, the ones who did the Batman Arkham game. But plot twist, there may also be from Warner Brothers Montreal, the ones who did Batman Arkham Origins, there might be a Batman Court of Owls game as well coming. So you're going to get two parallel Arkham games, well, two games within that universe at once, which I'm actually excited for. You know, I mean, as long as WB Montreal release the game and it works, not a broken piece of shit that Origins was when it came out, should be good. You know, Court of Owls, is that what it was called? I forget. The comic book was fantastic. The run on that was a really good Batman comic. So it'd be nice to see that in a game. And Suicide Squad, I'm really excited about, because I love the Suicide Squad comics, but they have to make it multiplayer throughout the whole game. If they don't do that, then that's a big foul on their part. Kind of like Avengers is a big foul of that game not being completely multiplayer. That's just fucking stupid. Other things, yep, I'm with you. I want to see stuff from the Warner Brothers animated universe. I want to see what the next stage is. Just to correct you briefly on the Superman, we've got a Superman trailer, but we also got the announcement of Batman in the 70s. There's a cartoon of that coming out.
Oh, is that going to be a movie?
Yeah, animated film.
Oh,
another one of those.
Yeah, and it looks like to have a kind of somewhat Enter the Dragon kind of crossover, because there's like a Bruce Lee character type in there. So that's just going to be something for fun. It's not going to probably take itself too serious.
And there's also, just so you know, I found out recently that there are two different types of DC animated. There's DC animated original and DC. Well, DC. No, one of they say different things on the top. Like if you look at the covers, one says DC Universe, the other one says DC Animated. The DC Universe ones are the ones like Apocalypse War and stuff like that, and Red Sun.
So the New 52 kind of stuff.
No. Okay. Like, so any of those animated movies, for example, all those New 52 movies, Red Sun, Gotham by Gaslight, all those are under DC Universe. Right. But like the Batman versus TMNT, Batman Ninja, the new Deathstroke movie that came out, that's under DC Animated. And it does. It actually, I was looking at it. I was actually looking at it earlier today, and I'm like, why does one say universe and the other one say?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like if you go to, I mean, I know Wikipedia is not that great of a source, but I mean, if you go there and you look, they have a list of all the DC animated movies. But then I looked at mine. I just got the copy of the Deathstroke movie, and I said, why does it say DC Animated, not DC Universe on the top? And then I looked at all the other ones, and the Bruce Timm line ones are all like, as far as I can tell, are DC Universe. They're not DC Animated. Yeah, it's really weird. I'm like, why would you have it separated like that?
Maybe it's different studios.
I mean, it might be, but still.
Maybe one is produced in like Japan and one is produced in like Korea. I mean, nothing's produced in America. That's for sure. It's all like outsourced to Asia in terms of animation studios. But I'll have a look into that.
Actually, no, you're right. I'm looking at it here. Superman Man of Tomorrow. Oh yeah, the Batman Death in the Family. That interactive movie. That's going to be.
Oh yeah, there was that as well. Damn, yeah.
And then Batman's Soul of the Dragon. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so I guess that one might be on that. It just depends. But I really thought it was odd that they had because Batman Ninja and there's other movies that just aren't on that list. And I'm like, well, where's Batman versus TMNT and Batman Ninja and all these other movies? And apparently they're a part of a separate line. So, but it's crazy. I'm like, why have two separate animated studios?
Daft. But, well.
Anyway, long story.
Anyway, I'll put it down to them. It could be, could be for tax purposes. You never know. Okay, so also, obviously, with The Rock being there, so we know we're going to get something about Black Adam. Film that nobody fucking cares about, for being honest. Black Adam's a cool character, but to have his own film, I wanted him in. I'm sorry to interrupt again. I wanted Black Adam in Man of Steel too. I think he would have been a good foil for Superman, and then that would have been a way to cross over with Shazam. And I mean, I know they did the animated short, but I think doing it as a whole movie, I think with Henry Cavill and Zachary Levi and Dwayne Johnson, I think it would have been a great movie. And I kind of agree with you, like the whole Scorpion King thing, where it's like we're giving him his own movie. But it's. I can't ever say putting the words great movie and with the DC films together for me, because the only things I've liked so far is Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. Everything else has been like Birds of Prey is literally one of my worst films of this year so far. So I think the Batman will be good because Matt Reeves is a great director. I think we'll get that. But with Black Adam, I just think it'll just be a load of shite. It'll make money because it's The Rock, but we don't fucking need that film. Which brings me on to my next point. My next 2 points. The next phase of films, I reckon we'll get an announcement of stuff they want to have in the pipeline, kind of like phase 4, phase 3 of Marvel Cinematic Universe, and also what DC initially tried with all their individual films that led to the Justice League, but because Batman versus Superman was such a fuck up, they just scrapped everything and went straight to the Justice League, which I suspect they'll probably do this again because the studio is in complete disarray. And also I personally as well want to see what their next comic book events are. Given the big reshuffle at DC Comics and the mass layoffs, what are they going to do there? I mean, are they going to do anything major? Are they just going to sell off their properties, outsource them to other companies to do as a cost-cutting measure? Are we just going to get a load of streaming gibberish about sucking up to the DC Cinematic Universe? I don't know, so that's what I kind of expect to see. I
know Titans has a panel also coming up. So I think,
What, the show?
Yeah, the show Titans.
I don't give a shit about the TV stuff. I know you two do, but I do not care.
Just some of
it. I like Titans season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, I like Titans.
I think they're going to announce though that Titans is moving to HBO Max. I think is what they're going to announce. I think that's why they're doing this panel, because they're probably going to start production soon and for season 3. And I think they're probably going to announce the move, Because I mean, you're right. I figured DC Universe would eventually be going away now that HBO Max is out. I just didn't want to have to pay for HBO Max, so I'll just have to suck it up and either pay for HBO Max or not, or just.
Well, you get rid of DC Universe. There's nothing new coming out on there.
I mean, yeah,
just have a subcategory on HBO Max. I mean, DC Universe is going to be gone.
No, I know, and that's kind of sad because I liked a lot of the DC Universe content outside of the shows. You know, like I mean, they had daily shows on there that were pretty entertaining. You know, they had some interviews on there that were really good. And they did them like 5 days a week, so they were. I mean, you know, it was like a nice little 25 minutes of content about DC, just DC stuff. You know, like we have an interview with the producer of Titans today, or we have an interview with the director of the season finale of Arrow, just like stuff like that, or one of the screenwriters for a movie coming out.
Yeah.
John Barrowman was on there a lot too, which he's hilarious. I love John Barrowman.
John Barrowman's fantastic. He's huge over here in the UK.
Yeah. Very popular.
Got a lot of love for him.
Apparently he was on that show for like no money, but he just wanted to be on it. He's just like, no, I just want to be there. Like, can I just be there? Can I sit on the couch and talk DC?
Nice. Yeah, because he was in Arrow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was at the point that show started, I think he had been killed off proper, like at that point. So I don't know.
John Barrowman's hilarious. You should see when he speaks to his parents, he goes full Scottish when he talks to them. And it reminds me of my roommate who was Asian, but their family, when they came from India, they were in Liverpool. So when he talks to his parents, he talks to them in a Liverpudlian accent. It's fucking weird, but familiarity. Anyway, moving on.
I just want to quickly say, you kind of got me interested in certain things I never realized, like a Suicide Squad game. But when you also mentioned the Batman with the Owl Syndicate game, if it's going to be anything like the previous Arkham games, then I'm not that interested because we've been there, done it, worn the T-shirt, and if this is just another version with a different, with a different villain as the main protagonist, then if it's following the same formula as before, then I'm not too interested in that. But I would love to see how Rocksteady does a Suicide Squad game. That I'm really interested in, for sure.
Yeah, that one tops my list of the most interesting thing because I love Rocksteady. Even though they fucked up the Arkham Knight game, the main game, all the side stuff was fantastic. All the other, like Harley Quinn, Batwoman, all the Robins, those kind of missions, the extras were fantastic. I do want to see what they do with this, but it fucking has to be multiplayer all the way through, up to 4 players. If useless cunts like Ubisoft can pull it off, I don't know how all these other companies massively fail to do it, unless it's in a fucking PvP setting, which, gets a bit tiresome after a while. So that would be interesting. In terms of Court of Owls, again,
Court of Owls,
teaser thing, so it might not be true, but I saw it on Twitter, but I wouldn't put it past Warner Brothers Montreal to do it. I'm okay with it being kind of similar to the other Arkham games. Like I said, I like them a lot. It was when they changed it too much with the Batmobile that they really screwed the pooch there because it took over the gameplay. But maybe a small overhaul in some of the mechanics would be fine. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Like a lot of the stuff when it came to what I wanted from the show, I'm going in there with hardly any knowledge. I've only really kind of got pumped for it when I just saw a recent trailer the other day, so I know fuck all about this. But I'm hoping that we get some really good surprises of stuff we never even knew was on the horizon. I really want some nice, decent surprises. I want to come out of this show feeling fulfilled and pleasantly surprised with what they have to offer, because there's been a few shows this year and they've fallen really flat. And as far as I'm concerned, DC needs to knock out the park. I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah, I mean, Go on, Cheeto.
I was just thinking. I mean, Val Kilmer's supposed to have a panel too, so I think they're going to announce Batman Forever too. I think they're going full multiverse and Batman Forever too.
The guy can't even
And
speak,
Chris
man.
O'Donnell's going to be Batman in this one.
Yeah,
About time.
they flip it. No, for me, yeah. Look, my high expectations are always with their animated stuff because DC set the bar.
Yeah.
They set the bar. Fuck Pixar, fuck Disney, fuck all them lot. It's Warner Brothers because they're bold, they're different in that area. They don't follow the same copy and paste dynamic. Okay, not everything they do is amazing, but up until a certain point, the majority of the stuff was fantastic. I mean, Harley Quinn came out of like nowhere and just ended up being like the best thing I've ever enjoyed in an animated format or any other thing. It's one of my all-time favorite things because it just said, you know what, screw it. There's no restrictions. We're not beholden to anyone but our subscribers. So let's just go all out, and it was great. So I want to see them announce other kind of Harley Quinn type things, not with Harley Quinn, just in that kind of format of saying, oh, you know what? Here's a Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Soon.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
In the form of Harley Quinn or Kite Man getting his own spin-off would be great.
Oh no, not Kite. I don't think he needs
Man.
But I like your idea for Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
I like that too.
In that context, they need to do Booster Gold and Blue Beetle in the same style of Harley Quinn, even if it's just a one-off kind of film, because I think that'll be a huge success for them. Because they're massively popular in DC fandom, and they haven't had anything apart from Young Justice, where they had Blue Beetle there, and I think
it was like the second version of Blue Beetle too. It wasn't even like
it's not even the original, the best.
Yeah, the original one was already. I think he was dead by the time season 2 rolled around or something. Spoiler.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even get to see the original.
Blue Beetle's a bit like Raven, isn't he? Like, he can become a villainous person. But I recall that in Young Justice season 2.
No, he has a scarab, which is an alien.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, it's what it could possibly turn him. Like, even though he uses that power could possibly make him evil, because it kind of. Like, I never saw Young Justice season 3 because they left too big of a time gap for me to give a fuck to want to watch it. But I do remember. I understand. I mean, I do remember Robin breaking that pencil when he realized that the Blue Beetle was being a devious fucker, and so it just made me think to myself that the Blue Beetle has it in him to be villainous the same way Raven has it in her to be villainous. I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm going all over the place, but the point is, going back to what Ginger said regarding a Booster Gold Blue Beetle, it would be nice to see someone like Booster Gold always having to keep Blue Beetle on the check so he doesn't fucking try to take over the Earth or something.
Yeah, that's not really that. I think they did that in Young Justice, but like the comics, it's not really a thing. Like the original Blue Beetle in the comics was more like a joke character.
Yeah,
that's why him and Booster Gold got on great, because they were kind of similar personalities. Obviously, Booster Gold, being a famed whore more than anything, but
he's only pretending to be a fame whore. He's only pretending. He's only pretending.
No, not in the comic books. In the comic books,
because there's so many versions. There's a version of him where he has to pretend to be something that he's not, because he's supposed to come across like that because he's a time traveler. And that's
always reminded me of Scott Lang kind of personality, like from the MCU, like that kind of goofy personality, but is kind of, I mean, it's kind of smart. I think he's smarter in the comic books and stuff. Like,
but
isn't he like an archaeologist or a science tech or something like that?
Or Booster
Gold?
No, I'm talking about Beetle. Sorry,
Beetle. Yeah, Beetle. Yeah, I was going to say Booster Gold he's just an opportunist, fame-hungry superhero wannabe.
I thought you were talking about Beetle still. Sorry.
I can't remember what
I moved on to Booster Gold.
I can't remember what I saw. Was it a comic book I read or an animation I saw or a film or something where Booster Gold was he purposely portrayed himself as a fame-hungry whore. You know, he
Probably
purposely
Smallville.
was it? I can't remember what I saw, but in
Probably
reality,
Smallville.
he had a mission to do, and it was just his cover. You know, so people maybe didn't take him seriously when he was seriously trying to do something.
What was it? One of the animated films.
I can't remember what it was.
He was in one or two of the animated shows.
Yeah,
back
he
in the
was.
90s. But I don't think he ever was really like portrayed like really well in an episode. I think he was just there every now and then.
I remember that excellent, Justice League Unlimited episode where he actually saved the universe, but everyone, especially Batman, all thought he was a useless dickhead. But he ended up winning the girl who was a doctor. Do you remember that?
Not Justice League Unlimited. I never watched it, but
I mean, I've seen Justice League Unlimited, but I'm trying to remember the episode. I mean, I know he was in one or two of those episodes.
What it is, basically, this doctor created this vortex which was taking over the world. It's going to destroy the universe, but at the same time, the Justice League were fighting something just as dangerous somewhere else. But this also had to be dealt with. And Batman always thought that Booster Gold was a slacker, but Booster Gold ended up saving the universe by destroying this thing this scientist had inside him. And the only person who knew he did this was this other scientist, and she was quite hot. So he ended up winning her, even though everyone else thought that he was slacking.
Yeah, but they got the girl.
He got the girl, but
Isn't that normal? I mean, aren't all smart scientists hot? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it was just the fact that Batman, even though he's so smart, just thought Booster Gold the whole time was slacking, and he was wrong.
I think that was one of those.
Batman was wrong. Kevin Conroy's Batman was wrong. It was so brilliant.
I mean, but I also think that was just one of those, like, you know, proving your parent wrong situations. You
But
know,
they
like
never knew.
was
They
a
never knew. None of the Justice League knew what he did, except for the scientist. They all thought he was fucking around because they was doing some other superhero shit. Well, he was doing superhero.
He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it was great, and they never even knew that he saved the day.
That sounds like my boss. You do nothing around here. Fuck you! I keep this place together. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I ain't got much else to say.
I mean, I'm hoping for announcement, as I said, about Titans. See, I should have took notes. I wish I was as good as Ginger.
Are we gonna get any like celebrities on there? Like, if we're gonna, I mean,
Val Kilmer.
Gal Gadot seems to be somebody who probably will show up on that because
I think you're gonna have a lot of people show up since it's
the cast of Suicide Squad are gonna be on there.
I mean, Wonder Woman 2 is coming out as well.
Batman are gonna be on there. So there's gonna be a few people. It's gonna be like a big Zoom meeting set in this Fandome kind of big CGI.
So you think we'll get some surprises? Will we get an announcement for a Green Lantern movie? Do you think?
I think that, I mean, if they do, I think that they will kind of. I think they'll say, "Hey, coming possibly in 2022, finally the New Mutants, the Green Lantern Corps."
Personally, The Rock, he shouldn't be Black Adam. I think he should be Martian Manhunter. I think he's old enough. He's just the right age in his life. He's a good size, everything. He can play a calm demeanor, I think, quite easily. He's a good actor.
But I thought what's his face was supposed to be Martian Manhunter from Man of Steel. What's his name? I can't remember the actor's name. I feel like fans would freak out about that because there was the general guy in Man of Steel.
Oh, Michael Shannon. Yeah.
He apparently, according to Snyder, which apparently now his shitty opinion is supposed to be like the book of the law. I'm not that excited. I'm going to be honest. I'm not excited about the Snyder cut. I think there's a reason why it was. I mean, I'll be interested to see it, but I don't like. Do I think we need it? No. I thought Justice League the movie was fine just the way it is. Was it perfect? No
way. But it wasn't fine the way it is.
Awful. It had Joss Whedon's diarrhea all over it.
Well, I didn't. Okay, well, I'm a Marvel mark, and I didn't mind it. So I get and Megan liked it too.
Apparently, if you watch Justice League with the undeleted version, but there's an undeleted version but they made it. They were trying to get it under 2 hours so they could have several screenings on cinemas. But there are like more fleshed out scenes, and the film's a lot better with all those fleshed out scenes. I haven't seen it, but apparently there is a version around, maybe now, of Justice League.
Either way, I'm going to watch it online. And
no, but the current cut with some more deleted footage. Not just the Snyder Cut, which is going on Dark Side, and not even Steppenwolf, I believe. Yeah, I mean,
Steppenwolf's there. He's not the main baddie. It's Darkseid is
Dark
the
Side, yeah.
So I think the Snyder Cut is going to be hot garbage, and I don't think. I mean, it's just going to be more. It's going to be more dark and dreary DC bullshit. Is what I think it's going to be.
I'm personally quite fascinated by how. I mean, I've seen director cuts of all types before, but this is going to branch off to a whole different way. It's going to be like watching a film, but then it's going to be something totally different, and that's got me really interested.
This is like American History X. This is like taking back your property and then putting out the version you want, rather than it being hijacked by someone else. Because that's what happened with American History X. Only in this case, American History X turned out to be fucking brilliant. But it's the same kind of scenario. This is just, I don't know many other properties.
Superman 2 is actually a good way of Superman 2, because there's two versions of Superman 2. Do you know that?
I think they just for the Donner cut. I think they just put some deleted scenes in, didn't they?
What's that?
I thought the Donner cut was where they added just some deleted scenes back in, like
That's
the
way
Donner
more
cut
detailed
Superman
than that.
2.
What's that in the Snyder cut?
No, the Donner cut for Superman 2.
No idea.
Yeah, I think they just took some deleted scenes and added them back in, and I think moved one.
Like the Terminator 2 director's cut kind of thing, where they just add extra scenes.
Yeah,
that's add extra scenes, but it's still got the same sort of goal with having a new villain in their dark side. It's going to be totally fucking different. It's going to be totally different in lots of parts, without a doubt.
I don't think Darkseid's not in the film. He just pops up kind of in like a couple of scenes and that, but it's still Steppenwolf as the main bad.
Yeah. I heard that there's some pretty significant scenes with Darkseid at the end.
Yeah, at the end, but he's not the main bad.
I mean, he's not throughout the whole thing, no.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Back door.
I thought the truck was reversing.
No, that's just my alarm system. So if any of y'all come to kiss me in the middle of the night, I'll know you're coming.
Why don't you just blow your load in someone's face, man? And you've got the Second Amendment for that.
I choose my weapon.
Yeah. I'm Greek, so I just have a plate by my side to smash it over your head.
It is crazy though that a film which was made almost 10 years ago is now fucking something we're still talking about. And it's gonna be one of the main fucking
What movie was made 10 years ago?
Sorry, Justice. It made 8 years ago.
3 years ago, you fucking mong.
God, it feels like. Why am I thinking it came out in 2012?
I don't know. Avengers. The film was out in 2012.
Avengers.
Actually, Man of Steel came out in
2013.
Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Really, only 3 years ago, Justice League.
Oh, right, man. Like Flash, it's just completely fucked. It's all over the place.
I do apologize. It does feel a lot longer than that.
Yeah,
we just had to wait a really long time for Shazam.
All right, but it is weird that a film that basically a director's cut is one of the crown jewels of this event. A film which has already been.
That's how bad DC films are. This is what everyone's looking forward to.
I always thought that at Justice League, Wonder Woman and Justice League for me kind of marked the upturn to movies, because I liked Justice League, I liked Wonder Woman.
I'm sorry, but under no circumstances is Justice League a good film.
I didn't say it was good. I said I liked it.
It's not an uptick. Yeah, but you liking mediocrity is not a fucking bar the rest of us should set ourselves to.
Well, you being an elitist is not a bar that I want to be be disappointed with every day.
I'm proud of my elitism. I'm proud.
When it comes to this stuff,
an industry that is beyond mediocrity. In my jobs, I didn't just go in there and be haberdash slap and be like, yeah, that would fucking do. No, my job is to do to the best, not of my ability, but of others' expectations. That's what I want when I pay money for a fucking film. I don't want this haberdash mediocre shit pandering to a bunch of brain dead fuckwits. this is where we are now. This is every fucking film now. You know, it's you got to set your bar high.
I agree with Ginger.
Anyway, I liked Shazam. I liked Aquaman. I'm pretty sure I liked Birds of Prey, and I know you're gonna hate that.
Because that's what you're conditioned to like is mediocrity.
That is not what I'm conditioned to like. That's just what I like.
Okay, but look, let's just do
They
some
could have done so much better.
I liked Endgame. If I only wanted mediocrity, then I wouldn't want Endgame. Like, I think Endgame was too much.
Yeah, but
there's too much goodness.
You're like Birds of Prey, and you're like, that's fine.
It was a fun romp. Like, I didn't think it was. Ewan McGregor was fantastic, and I mean, like, Harley Quinn was great. I'm not saying these are stellar movies. I'm not saying that, like, I give it 5-star movie. If I were to sit there and probably break these movies down, no, they'd be like 3-star movies. Who knows? But that doesn't mean I can't like it.
Ew.
Okay, look, I'm a bit different. I'm willing to acknowledge good performances.
I know this.
I'm willing to acknowledge good performances, but still acknowledge the film was also shit. So when it came to like Brandon Routh being Superman, he was great. Film was shit. Henry Cavill being Superman in Batman vs Superman and Thingy being Batman, they were great, but the film was shit. Justice League was shit. Some of the acting wasn't too bad. I thought Gal Gadot was great as Wonder Woman, but the film was shit, and that can't be ignored. You know, when you've seen stuff like Endgame and you've seen quality before Endgame to lead up to the ultimate quality, then you want someone like DC who also has memorable characters, people we fucking love, be given the same goddamn treatment, and they haven't been. We've been getting bollocks. Ginger's right. Too much mediocrity. We need quality.
DC has the pageant to be better than the MCU because they are not held down by Disney's ridiculous prudishness, but they're not. They're trying to play on the same level playing field, even though they have the animated universe that is phenomenal. All they gotta do is take exactly what they have in the animated universe and put that in their films, and they will set the bar just like the Dark Knight set the bar all those years ago. And we were like, no, your comic book films have to be around like that, not the other shit we were getting. But they're not doing that. They're just rushing these films out. There's no thought process. It's just let's put in a few things that are going to generate buzz, bog standard performances, bog standard storylines, and people will buy it. They're trying to sell films on the actors, which Aquaman probably sold more seats because it was Jason Momoa than the film itself. And there's nothing really that kind of grabs you. And DC has more familiar faces to do that, but they're not doing it. And we should set the bar high because the animated universe is just like this, just phenomenal. So why can't the films be like that? That's all.
Yeah, but you only complain that you've been saying that all the animated films recently have been shit.
Yeah, they have. But
the standard's has dropped.
Finished off on a strong note with the final film. It was great, but the previous few before that were shit. But the vast majority of them, that's what I'm saying. They had a dip, but the vast majority of them have been really, really good. Okay, the movies don't even come fucking close to their worst stuff. But they should exceed them. But they don't. They settle for
patience.
Shit like Birds of Prey. Who the fuck asked for Birds of Prey?
Who asked for their level of Suicide Squad really annoyed me. And one of the things I've always said, like, yeah, the reason why fucking Harley Quinn is part of the Suicide Squad because in Assault on Arkham, she was a fucking shrink at fucking Arkham, so that's why they involved her. There was no need for her to be in this Suicide Squad. She's just a bitch with a fucking bat. You know what I mean? It just stuff like that really pisses me off. And then the villain and all that shit. What are they thinking? Honestly, what are they thinking?
I agree with you. The Suicide Squad movie did not need to be a end of the world Skybeam thing that it was. It needed to be a down and dirty hunt the Joker down because he has a dirty bomb or so, something like that. Yeah, like the Suicide Squad. They were chasing down the Hell card or whatever it was, but it was kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, it was like It makes sense for a Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's not this, big Justice League level event like the movie was. The Suicide Squad movie was trying to portray. It's like, no, they're supposed to do this stuff that just the superheroes won't do, and they're just and it's supposed to be really shady. It's not supposed to be, hey, we're saving the world.
Yeah, and you know what? I love cool villains. I love seeing films about villains where they're the focal character is really interesting. This film didn't do it. None of these guys are fucking memorable. Who gives a fuck about any of them? Just about Margot Robbie pulled it off. But other than that, none of this shit will ever be remembered other than it being crap. You got really quality villains in that contingent, portrayed poorly by nearly everybody, or given bad writing or whatever. It's just another missed opportunity. It really pisses you off.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, like when you look at, say, TV shows, I'm not going to compare the CW stuff and all that, but I mean, just TV in general and the quality that they churn out there, even things like The Boys and The Umbrella Academy, along that, and you see just how fucking amazing TV shows are. Movies have gone completely in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do they appeal to these days? The majority of them. It's like, why do we celebrate mediocrity with films, but we don't allow mediocrity with television? Like, if you have mediocrity in TV, people aren't going to watch it in the golden era of television. But films, they just get away with it.
Before I got burnt out on CW, in my opinion, their world building was fantastic. With initially with the Arrow, and then getting the Flash involved, and then seeing people like the Atom and shit like that. I mean, it was amazing. So many different characters. Canary as well. I couldn't believe what they were doing. I was fanboying the fuck out of myself. Eventually, I got tired of it all. It was all a bit too fucking much. But at least they were doing lots of world building. It's incredible the sort of tricks they're missing with the films. If they just gave their films, made some films, started without rushing, they could really come up with something. But they just don't have the patience. And like these actors are not getting any younger. It's been years. I mean, like 9 years since fucking Man of Steel. Henry Cavill's 37. Before long, he's going to be too old. So they've got to get their. I mean,
7 years.
It won't. Sorry, I thought it was 2011. I'm sure Man of Steel was 2011.
I thought it was 2013.
I think it was 2013.
Okay. Nevertheless, these guys don't stay young forever. They've got to, no matter how fit they are, they've got to eventually start playing these roles before they grow out of it. Even like someone, I don't know how old Ben Affleck is, but before long he's going to be too fucking old. He's already fucking old. Gal Gadot's 35. She's going to be too old eventually to fucking play Wonder Woman unless they fucking progress her to make her be an older person visually, even though she's supposed to be immortal. So, you know what I mean? So, they got to get a fucking move on if they're going to do anything with this shit.
Yeah.
Just bring Linda Carter back. I mean, come on.
Hey,
personally, I want the Robert Pattinson Batman to spawn a new universe. Maybe they can start from there.
Because I like the director involved. Matt Reeves is a great director. I want it to just be a huge success.
Yeah, and then you can get your Batman, and you can get your Supermans and your fucking Green Lanterns all from there. It could all start from there if this is good. But we'll see how it goes. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, the Batman movie, but I do hope it's good. And I give props to Robert Pattinson. He's a fucking fantastic actor. And he's a brilliant actor. And
my only experience with him is in Twilight. So
yes.
Oh God.
I had to sit through the first two Twilight movies with.
He's even good in that. He's even good in that for what he has to do. You know what I mean? But
wasn't he the whiny one, or was he was the mopey one? Wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was mopey.
He was a sparkly vampire. That's the one I know.
I know he's
an American
vampire, but he was like the mopey one, like the mopey vampire. I was like, ugh.
The depressed,
the brooding emo.
One. Yeah, Megan says he was the depressed one.
He's already playing a different. He's got the American accent going on and everything. So
he's done some great films since then. Some really good.
The Lighthouse is. Have you seen The Lighthouse?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that film.
Really?
But,
You're one of the first people I've heard. That's
great performances, but yeah, it was.
William Dafoe actually killed it in that movie. By the way, in my opinion, he did.
He chews up the scenery wherever he goes.
He's the best. He's the fucking best, man. So, but yeah, I'm very happy with the choice. I just hope like he can do action. But at the end of the day, it's great that he can be a good actor. But nowadays, you've got to be like the complete package, and there's not enough actors who are like Tom Cruise nowadays. So I really hope he can do the action. I really want to see that. I want to see Robert Pattinson getting dirty, doing some stunts. I hope he's able to do shit like that.
So, Ginger, one last question that I actually am curious. What do you want from Harley Quinn season 3 if they make an announcement? Like, what do you want it to be based on? Because you've seen all of season 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so have I. So you know how that season. So you know how that ends. What? Now that whole thing with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn has transpired, what do you want from the next season? Because it's almost like we've kind of hit that completion point where it's like, okay, where do we go from here without it being like One Life to Live or whatever, Days of Our Lives, where it's like, Grey's Anatomy, where they fight, they break up, they get back together, and then Kite Man comes back in the picture, and then Harley Quinn's now sleeping with Kite Man instead to get revenge on Poison. And I mean, they just, I don't know. Sometimes when they do the whole relationship thing, I mean, I would love it if they just didn't do they had them in the relationship, but they just never. And I know
it wasn't a focal point.
Yeah, it's never the focal point where they're like, oh, we have to break up for 2 or 3 episodes, and one of us has to make a really bad decision. Then one of us needs to hide it. Then, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to treading on familiar sitcom territory, whereas they get together and halfway through they break up.
They can't Ross and Rachel it. They can't.
Yeah, that's my fear. They're going to Ross and Rachel it. I don't want it to be a focal point. I don't give a fuck about unless they're nude and eating each other out on screen, then yeah, I'm all for that. But other than that, I don't want it to be the focal point. I would also argue that maybe put more focus on the other characters as well, because Harley Quinn in its 2 seasons has built itself to be more than just Harley Quinn, because all the other characters are just as interesting, if not more interesting, like Bane and things like that, and all the Legion of Doom. So I just, as long as the relationship isn't the focal point, I'm fine with what they do, but I do worry that they're gonna Ross and Rachel it for sure.
And I really hope they don't, just because that's I can't do it. Like, as I said, one of the fun points about that show is just like the dynamics between all the characters, and it's like I hope they would, because didn't the old guy, I can't remember his name, he died towards the end of the season, right? So they have that character spot they need to fill.
Yeah.
Kite Man, because he's probably, he might be back here and there, but he might not. They might need a character spot for him. And they had Condiment King on one episode, didn't they? Or I don't remember. Didn't he?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, during the whole wedding venue episodes, where they were in competition to book the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want them to bring some cool, because Clayface is amazing. King Shark is amazing.
Yeah.
I even love Dr. Psycho.
Psycho's fucking brilliant.
I know. I just either that, or maybe they could like the Batgirl episodes. Where Batgirl's kind of hanging out with Poison Ivy or I think it was Poison Ivy and Harley. Like, I feel like maybe if they took like Huntress or something and they kind of joined her into the crew for a little while and play around with that, even though she's not a villain.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I agree with you. That's kind of what I want. I want them to focus on more side characters, maybe introduce a couple new different funny ones. Just go balls to the wall. Like bring the source wall in. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just go balls to the wall. Bring it all in.
Just make it stupidly lovable.
Man or Firefly as a kind of filling that void of Kite Man or other characters as well, along those lines. Azazel just coming in and being some kind of fucking religious weirdo. Yeah.
Oh, I could Zazel.
And then when they cancel Harley Quinn, just have Jason Todd just basically murders everyone in there. He just comes at the end, just fucking murders everyone. But Azazel, as a religious fundamentalist, coming in, he's like, "I'm here to save the city," and then he sees like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy eating out or kissing, and he's like, "You are sinners," and all this kind of crazy shit like that. It would be great.
Amazing! I ship that 100%.
Yeah.
Oh God, but yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, the whole Ross and Rachel sitcom thing. Like, that is my fear, is that we're gonna get that before the end of the next season, and I'm like, no, I don't. Unless it feels organic, which honestly, I don't think it will. I don't think it will in the beginning. Like, you can't just do that right in the beginning of a relationship. But yeah, they have to not.
Dynamic has to take a back seat because it's going to get tiresome. Like, it can't be the focal point of a show.
Yeah,
it really can't. So they'll end up backing themselves into a corner if they do that in season 3, because it's like, well, okay, so we're going to get season 4 and it's going to be more of that. No thanks. So, yeah, tread carefully.
I just think they should go against the norm, and I think that will work very well with. Like, I mean, that's what Doom Patrol's been doing. Doom Patrol's been fantastic.
Yeah, it has. I haven't caught up on season 2 yet, but I will.
I haven't watched all of season 2, but I started watching it, and I like it already. Like, there's a whole episode where they're running around as miniatures, and it's like it's so stupidly hilarious.
Yeah, but they seem to got the formula right. They got the right team behind that. It's like it's kind of like it's difficult to describe it, but it's it's a good show. Yeah, I definitely recommend Doom Patrol of all the TV stuff for sure.
All right, Zam, do you have anything else to add before we wrap it up? I feel like me and Ginger have just kind of splooged out Harley Quinn.
You guys, it's fine. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Yep.
What time does it start?
I think it starts at 10 a.m. my time. So
yeah, 6 p.m. my time.
And then I think it runs till midnight. I thought I saw, but I have to look. I have to confirm that. They say it runs for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, like, are we going to get content? Like, I'm pretty sure like a lot of the big stuff is going to happen during primetime hours. But I mean, who's going to sit for 24 hours? I thought that was very odd that they're going to have it just running for 24 hours.
I mean, how much content could they have for 20? I mean, that's a lot of content. If you get,
well, it depends.
You must repeat it.
Comic books in and stuff. I mean, if they have,
this is it. I mean, if you do an hour on everything, you can.
But here's the thing: some of the panels are only 15, 20 minutes.
Huh?
I saw they were saying some of the panel run times are like 15, 20 minutes. So that's why I'm like, well, then what are they filling the rest of the time?
Yeah, there'll be some padding. I mean, there's going to be like, I think breaks. Some fans are involved as well, but they're probably just going to be the fans that just lick butt. So, yeah.
Send in your cosplay that you would have worn.
Yeah.
Please, they're going to be fucking employees pretending to be fans. They're not going to take the chance.
Huntress is next.
Yeah. And the sad thing is it's all been pre-filmed, so some of those employees have probably already been fired after they kissed us. So yeah. Anyway,
all right. Well, that wraps it up, boys. I guess we're gonna come out.
We'll be back to discuss the events after it happens.
See, I am the worst host ever, man. You, Ginger and Zam, you guys are so much better than me at this. All right, well, that's it, boys.
I'm not denying that, but yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Keep practicing. keep practicing.
Keep practicing. All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.